A baby can't be unplanned, not wanted, and come out of nowhere when you're engaging in unprotected hunching. You have enough in your severance to pay off your debt. You don't want to do that because you like having the money in your bank account. The screws, the screws, the screws. The people who really need therapy be the most skeptical. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Amarachi. This is my review of Blue Therapy from Netflix. Right now, we about to talk about Carmen and Jermaine, who have been together for 20 years. They're married. They have children. I'm talking about all the married folks first, and then we'll get to the unmarried people that's shacking up. Jermaine is a DJ. Their main problem is communication. One of the first things I wrote on this piece of paper was she keep cutting him off. He'll start talking, she'll cut him off. He'll start saying something, she'll cut him off. You're invalidating his emotions. Strike number 75. Because if I can't feel comfortable articulating myself to you and getting a full thought out without you interrupting me, I'm not going to say anything. I'm also going to shut down. I'm not going to talk. I'm the same way. If I have the sense that you care more about yourself and your opinion and what you feel and you don't care about what I got to say, I'm not saying nothing. You won't hear me say nothing. Because if you keep cutting me off, I'm going to get aggravated. And then I'm really going to go off. And I would hate to do that. So instead of me allowing you to bring me out of my character, I'm going to just retreat. And that's exactly what I see this man doing. She kept cutting him off. Now, another thing that I noticed, and I notice this in society a lot. When y'all be engaging in adult activities, such as having unprotected hunching, I be confused as to how y'all are confused when a baby is conceived. It's a lot of folks on this show that said, oh, the baby wasn't planned. Oh, we didn't want to have her. Oh, it came out of nowhere. Oh. A baby can't be unplanned, not wanted, and come out of nowhere when you're engaging in unprotected hunching. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Because I've said this before, the only way, besides not doing it to prevent a baby, one of the only ways is to use protection. And this idea of, oh, it feel better without, it doesn't feel good without, with one on. You know what feels worse? Having a baby that you didn't want, and then your partner keeping that baby when you didn't want that baby, but at the same time it's your fault because you also engaged in activity that made this baby. And so when they say, oh, when Carmen and Junior was talking about how their first baby came when they was on a break and it was unexpected, what did you expect when y'all was doing the do and not having no condom? I digress. Carmen, nasty work. Nasty work. Asking this man for a divorce on his birthday? Nasty work. And see, as much as I be giving men their lashings, I be having to give us women our lashings too. Carmen, you get 5 lashings just from that. Because why would you ask this man for a divorce on his birthday? I understand you upset. I understand you frustrated. But if you truly love somebody, well, actually, it's not even just about love. It's about just compassion. If you truly have compassion for somebody, you would not ask them for no divorce on their birthday. That's like if you heard somebody's mama passed away and that person, let's say John owes me money. And I've been asking John for my money. And then I find out that John's mom passed away. Instead of me sending John a condolence, I said, John, send me my money right now. Do you know how insensitive that is? That's insane. That's insane. On a day when someone's grieving, on a day when someone's celebrating themselves, you make it about you and why you're upset. I don't like people like that. And then she want to have another baby. So This man is still holding resentment from you asking him for a divorce on his birthday. Y'all decided to get back together because you were pregnant and because you had a baby, and at 3 months, y'all had to be rushed to the hospital. So y'all never like actually healed from what caused y'all to separate, right? So y'all separate, have a baby. 3 months after the baby's born, the baby and the mama get rushed to the hospital. So him, as a man, decides it's best for me to be with my family. Y'all then have more kids, right? It's after she asked for a divorce on his birthday, right? She don't listen to him. They don't communicate well. And she wants another child. And to add insult to injury, which, JR, I got to give you 2 lashings for this. JR had a vasectomy, didn't tell her, and didn't save his sperm. Am I correct? Yeah. He had a vasectomy and didn't freeze his sperm. So, having another child will be, I don't know how vasectomies work. I heard that they're reversible, but I don't know. But having another child will be now, the reason why I said I have to give JR 2 lashings is because I don't disagree with his decision, right? Because if personally speaking, and again, like, I think that it's important to see both sides. A lot of times it's women that say, I don't want no more kids. But the man is like, I want kids, or whatever. Or a lot of times men will say they don't want kids, but they'll still finish in you and then get confused when you get a baby. And then they'll say, oh, I don't want that baby, right? But it's the opposite with JR, because JR is like, I don't want no more kids right now. We need to figure out us right now. And so the reason why I said I give him 2 lashes is because I understand his decision to get a vasectomy. That being said, I don't agree with the fact that he did that and he didn't freeze sperm and he didn't tell his wife. Like, if you're going to make that life-altering of a decision, you need to have a conversation with your person and be like, look, I'm trying to do this thing, right? Because I know that we're doing it do unprotected. I don't want us to have kids right now. We need to take a year and just figure us out. And after the year, then we can decide, boom, 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 boom. But again, like I said, I don't disagree with his decision. I disagree with how he went about it. So, yeah. That being said, I think in their 5-month confessional, they said things was going well. I don't know. I don't think that that's a couple that can stay together either. I think that they need to go ahead and continue their separation because he still feels unheard. She says she's okay with waiting a little bit to have a baby, but I don't think that's what she really means. And I think asking for that divorce on his birthday, and that's what I'm saying, like, I feel like overall, and this comes from something, I'm not in a relationship, but I do a lot of thinking. I've been to therapy a lot. I've done a lot of soul searching. I know myself. I've healed a lot. One thing my mama always tells me is, my mama and dad, when you're in a relationship, think more than you speak. Because your thoughts are in your brain. Your partner doesn't know what's in your brain unless you say it out loud. But your words, your partner continue to replay in their brain. And so in thinking more than you speak, if you speak more than you think, sometimes the things that you'll say and the words that will come out of your mouth, you might not see them as a big deal. You might be thinking selfishly, right? But you're not going to understand what that's going to do to that person. You're not going to understand how much that person is going to be replaying those words. As much as you might think that person has healed and forgiven you, oftentimes that's not the case. And I think that that's the issue with Carmen and JR, is that JR, he hasn't gotten to a place where he can forgive Carmen for asking for a divorce on his birthday. You know what I'm saying? So now he's doing everything that he can to take back that autonomy when it's going to be hard for them to get back to really where they're at or where they were before when he hasn't even healed from that. Break up. Just break up. Next up, who we talking about next? Debbie and Kelvin. You know what? No. We're going to talk about Mike and Jasmine because they're married as well. And I want to get to all the married people. And I don't remember if Debbie and Kelvin are. They not. They not married. So we're not getting them now. Mike and Yasmin. Mike. The one that has an issue with spending money but don't got no job. Let's talk about it. Now, I said in my overall review that men have one of four vices. Drugs, with a D, women, the alcohol, and money. Mike's vice is money. And that's why I think it's very important to understand your partner's relationship with money. I'm not saying you can't have debt. We all have some sort of debt, right? I think I have like $200 in credit card debt. I'm very financially secure, very financially conscious. And it's so interesting because while Mike and I's story is not exactly the same, there was a point in time in my upbringing where money was, scarce. But you see, this is the saying that it equates to. Two children grow up with an alcoholic father. Both children decide how they're going to live because they had an alcoholic father. One child grows up to be alcoholic and says, I'm an alcoholic because my dad is alcoholic. The other child says, I don't drink alcohol because I grew up in an alcoholic family. How does that equate? I'm financially conscious because I know what it means to not have like that. Mike spends all his money because he knows what it means to not have. But what he don't understand is, right now, it's not just about you. It's not just about you. See, me, if I was frivolous with my money, I don't got no man, I don't got no kids, I don't got no responsibilities. And if I was really that poor, I'm gonna live with my mama. My parents won't ask me for no rent money, no nothing. Not just sit in the house and do nothing. Mike, you don't have that option, okay? You got a wife and kids. And another one on the way, which they just announced, which I think is ridiculous, because y'all don't need to be hunching and having no babies right now with the finances that y'all got. But nevertheless, right, we're going to rewind back to the beginning. You didn't have, so now you're spending all the money that you do have while relying on your wife to contribute 75% of the household finances, your words, not mine. Come to find out, you was laid off of your job, didn't tell your wife. You was acting like you was going to work for 2 months, you had no job. Madness. Come to find out, you spend more on eating out than you do paying down the debt that you have, to which in my head, I'm like, how is this man spending more than he's paying off his debt when he don't got no job? Come to find out, you got a severance when you lost your job. You're not using, you have enough in your severance to pay off your debt. You don't want to do that because you like having the money in your bank account. The screws are missing. The screws are missing. The screws are missing. No one can make that make sense. So I'm not going to ask y'all to make that make sense to me. No one can make that make sense to me. Because it doesn't. There's no amount of coins you can put together to make that make sense. None. Mind you, the lady talking about if he see a fragrance he like, he buys 7 of them. 7 of the same fragrance? Are you spraying the fragrance every second? You do know fragrance expires. Why are you buying 7 of the same smell? Are you crazy? Mind you, your wife is paying 75% of the bills. You ain't got no job. You have a severance package that you could use to pay off your debt. You eat out more than you pay off the debt. And now you're at the BMW Audi lot looking for a car, test driving a car because you're insecure that your wife drives a better car than you. Does she drives a better car than you? She has a job. You don't. Oh my God. I don't understand. I don't understand. And see, I wrote this at the top of the paper, and I wrote this right here. The people who really need therapy be the most skeptical. Because all of these men, none of these men wanted to go to therapy. None of the men. None of the people, the men or the people that play male in their relationship want to go to therapy. And yet, y'all the ones that got, but see, when you don't got no screws in your head, you think what you doing is cool. What else did I write? And that's another thing. He was complaining about how when he comes in from wherever he's at, because he's not at work. So whenever he comes in, or when she comes in from work, all day, working all day with children. She's a teacher. So she got to deal with kids 25/8. Not just hers, but the other ones as well. Okay. This man got mad that she's like, soon as they walk in the house, she's like, or he's like, she says to him, I need you to do this. Can you bathe him? Can you do this? Da, 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 boom, 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 boom. Instead of, hey, honey, what's up, my sweet darling? Let's do the do. Da, da. Now, sir, why do you think that after I've worked all day, you ain't done nothing in the house? You ain't cooked nothing. You ain't cleaned nothing. You ain't washed no pampers. You ain't washed no laundry. You ain't washed no ass. You ain't do nothing. You think I'm finna walk in and I see my house in disarray? My kids is running around with no clothes and soiled diapers. You think this is the time for you to be asking me to do? You out your rabbit ass mind. You out your rabbit ass mind. She doing all of this. You ain't doing nothing. We saw a B-roll clip of him playing video games. She in the background doing finances. And you're questioning why she brought you to blue therapy? You out your monkey ass mind. You out your monkey ass mind. You out your monkey ass mind. Yeah, you out your monkey ass mind. This man said he spent 50 to 100 pounds every other day on takeout food. You out your monkey ass mind. You out your monkey ass mind. Let me tell y'all something. Probably the last thing I'll say about this couple. Finances is one of the reasons why a lot of relationships end. That finances thing is a slippery slope. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you how you should or shouldn't divvy up your finances in your relationship. But understand this. The way that a lot of men are wired, if they are not the breadwinner, they feel emasculated. I don't know what it is, but that's just what it is. Most men, 95% of men, feel like it is their role and their duty and their responsibility to be the breadwinner. And I'm fine with that. But as a woman, you have to sit and ask yourself if you're okay with being the breadwinner to a man who feels emasculated because you're the breadwinner. Because that's what this is. She's the breadwinner. He feels emasculated. She's still the breadwinner because he said he was a postal worker now. She still makes more than him. He's going to continue to feel emasculated. And also, with y'all women that are stay-at-home moms, you better pick you up a side hustle. I'm fine with being a stay-at-home mom, but I'm going to be making me some money. Because the flip side of the conversation of relying on a man who's a breadwinner is Kelvin and Debbie, which is the idea that because I make the most money, I get the most say, and I dictate this. And you ain't going nowhere. You can't have no other job. You can't have no other relationship. This is you going to sit here and do what I say. And when you as a woman put all of that in a man's hands because you don't have no money of your own, that's when you be in some shit that you don't got no business being in. So those are my thoughts on Mike and Yasmin. As with the last one I said, break up immediately. Thanks.